Breaking news. Hunger protest begins in Niger State. Guys, it's happening. Some Nigerian youths in Niger State have grown impatient. They've trooped the streets of Niger State to protest the ongoing cost of living crisis. In Nigeria, some youths have trooped out to the streets. They wielded placards such as "Enough is enough, stop anti-mass policies, we are not your slaves, hardship is unbearable, fuel subsidy must be back," amongst others. Guys, these impatient protesters marched on the streets as they chanted anti-government songs. Our correspondent saw some of the protesters on the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway, and they attempted to speak with them, but they declined. The federal and the state government had made several efforts to stop this protest. Yes, they've made several efforts to stop this protest, saying that it could be hijacked by hoodlums and enemies of democracy. Last week, Governor Mohammed Bango had wooed residents of Niger with welfare packages to prevent the protest, where he announced a 20,000 wage allowance for state and local government civil servants and ordered the immediate release of 50,000 metric tons of associated grains to be to be sold at subsidized rates to mitigate the current economic hardship. And guys, this is actually interesting. So yes, we know Nigeria is experiencing its worst cost of living crisis in a generation, with the food prices doubling more than the previous administration, ever since the removal of the fuel subsidy by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his decision to float the naira. The government maintained that these policies are necessary for long-term economic stability and that the citizens would eventually benefit. But those are lies. Those are lies, because the citizens have not benefited in any way. Yes, some state governors are saying that bad government did not start today, so Nigerians should not take to the streets to express their grievances regarding the rising level of inflation and hike in the prices of commodity, which emerged from the removal of the petrol subsidy by Bola Tinubu. And following this development, Nigerians have said enough is enough. They've said, politicians, enough of this rule, and they've urged a lot of persons to also engage in this protest. But you see, politicians and our leaders and the government are urging the citizens to exercise patience. For how long will Nigerians exercise patience? That with this current administration, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel, but that's not the case for Nigerians. However, plans by Nigerians to embark on a nationwide protest against the Tinubu-led administration have been reviewed. So my country people, I know a lot of people would say, is there any need for this protest? I think there is a need for this protest. There is a need for the protest. The security agencies are already gearing up ahead of this protest. Some youths, even before August 1st, that they've scheduled for the protest, some youth have taken up to the streets to air their frustration over the escalating cost of living crisis in Nigeria. And despite efforts by the state and the federal government to quell this unrest, including warnings that the protest could be hijacked or that anyone found doing one or two things would be called in by the security agencies. But then, guys, this is not stopping anybody from protesting. So it is time for the citizens to say enough is enough. But we really hope that this Nigerian protest, it doesn't turn out bloody like what happened during the EndSARS. We hope it doesn't turn out bloody, whereby people would be killed by security agencies. But some persons are already storming the streets against this economic hardship, and they've started protesting ahead of August 1st. So I guess they can no longer wait till August 1st, and they've decided to hit the street ahead of time. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have been urging the protesters not to protest. Even the vice president, all Tinubu's cabal members, they've been kicking against these protests. But I wonder why they are really kicking against it, because this is the time that the masses have said enough is enough. We don't want hardship. We don't want this economic hardship. Tensions everywhere in the country, and they are trying to shut the citizens down, which is not fair in any way. So, my country people, there is no threat that can stop this August 1st nationwide protest. Any threat from the federal government, any threat from the security agencies will only make these protests more popular, will only make the protesters popular. So the president, the government, and also the all state governors should prevent anything that would lead to the escalation of these protests to turn violent, because Nigerian youth are coming out with a genuine intention. But if anything should go south, then anything else can happen. So guys, threats will not work. The federal government should know that threats will not work. Nobody will listen to threats from the FG. Nobody will listen to threats from security agencies. Nobody will listen to threats from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now it is the time of Nigerians to say enough is enough. We are tired of all these things. So this is more like a pre-protest ahead of August 1st. People are growing impatient. They can no longer wait till August 1st, and they are starting this protest now. The protest has kicked off already. A revolution has started. A revolution against hunger, a revolution against starvation in Nigeria has started. Now the government should sit back and watch how everything will play out in this country, because the Nigerian youths will no longer keep quiet. But I know that the government would want to put one or two actions in place to see that these protests do not hold, but surely the truth will prevail. So protesters are already blocking major roads leading to Abuja in Niger State. Those major roads that connect to Kaduna to Abuja, some youths are already out, trooping in numbers. Various groups are demanding, significant improvement in the Nigeria's economic situation. They are protesting, and this protest is expected to be a widespread demonstration. So it has started from Niger, and we are going to see more protests from other states in the country. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? I must say, I don't think there's anything the president can do about it. Once Nigerians come out to stage this protest, the only thing that can quell them is to see implementations of useful policies that makes impact to the people, not just anti-people policies, not just palliative policies. Tinubu's administration is fond of, sharing palliatives to people. We need tangible solutions. We need permanent solutions to the problems we are facing in this country. So guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section. Thank you.